Hey there, how are you today? I just thought I would have some fun doing a few Facebook Live videos. And so today I thought I would read from this amazing book. I know it appears like a mirror image to you. And this is Beyond the Utopian Ideal by the amazing Gary Douglas. And so I asked, what would be the best thing to read? And I just opened up to this one page. And it is losing your fallback position. So if you're going to make a commitment to you, there's something else you have to lose. You have to lose your fallback position. A fallback position is a contingency plan for your worst case scenario. It is the solution to the utopian ideal you have bought when it doesn't work. It's the strategy you take when your primary position is threatened. It is a way to protect and vindicate yourself. Your fallback position is your insurance policy. And please, feel free to post your questions or whatever, and I'll do my best to answer them. It's also called leaving through the back door. It's taking off quietly without making a fuss rather than facing up to the challenge. It's a way you pretend you don't have any power. No one has had your back in the past, and you have never had your back either. So your idea of having your back has been to escape. That was the quickest, easiest, fastest, and safest way you could come up with to protect yourself. Most back doors are about how to change something without actually changing anything. That's the reason you have a back door, so you can change without changing. Having a back door is about opening the front door so the thing that will give you everything you want in your life can show up. You open the front door, and at the same time you've got a wedge holding the back door open so you can escape before you actually have to achieve that change. You're looking for a way to get out more than you're looking for a way to get in. If you have a sense of urgency about change, it's probably an activation of your back door. You build your image on top of your back door so that nobody will see what your back door is, and you can continue to use it. Your back door is nobody will ever see the true me, including me. How's that working for you? It's not. Most of us have a place in us where we think that if somebody is asking us to be who we truly are, they're going to use it as a source of abuse. When you were a kid, the few times you showed up as you, somebody abused you for that. You learned to create a back door so that you would never make that mistake again. So what mistake are you not willing to make that if you would make it, would give you all of you? Everything that is times godzillion will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Wow, that has a lot of charge on it. I'm going to run that again. So what mistake are you not willing to make that if you would make it, would give you all of you? Everything that is times godzillion will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So what mistake are you not willing to make that if you would make it, would give you all of you? Everything that is times godzillion will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So what mistake are you not willing to make that if you would make it, would give you all of you? Everything that is times godzillion will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So what mistake are you not willing to make that if you would make it, would give you all of you? Everything that is times godzillion will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Total commitment to you is the willingness to lose everything, including your back door. I wish to have total consciousness, which means I'm willing to lose everything that isn't consciousness, everything that I'm not conscious of, everything that would lead to unconsciousness, and everyone who believes unconsciousness is more valuable than consciousness. So everything that brings up for you, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Wow, this is like so important, and I'm going to kind of read this whole stuff again. And literally, you know, when I have things like this, which I read in a book, and it kind of just it's like talking to me, and I don't know how to do it. Here's the thing, you don't have to understand how to do it. You just have to choose to do it. And even if you don't get it, you can just say, what would it take for me to have that? Or what would it take for me to get that? So I'm going to read it again. Total commitment to you is the willingness to lose everything, including your back door. So are you willing to lose your back door? So everything that doesn't allow it, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So are you willing to lose your back door? Everything that doesn't allow it, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. I wish to have total consciousness, which means I'm willing to lose everything that isn't conscious, everything I'm not conscious of, everything that would lead to unconsciousness, and everyone who believes unconsciousness is more valuable than consciousness. Everything that doesn't allow that, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. So are you willing to lose everything that isn't conscious? Everything that is times Godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Are you willing to lose everything that you're not conscious of? Everything that is times Godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Are you willing to lose everything that would lead to unconsciousness? Everything that is times Godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And are you willing to lose everyone who believes unconsciousness is more valuable than consciousness? Everything that is times Godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So death as a back door. Many of us have death as a back door. We think, well, if it gets really bad, I can always die. I know that place well. On the last day of a class we did in Australia a few years ago, I got really ill and ended up in the hospital. When that occurred, I realized that the one thing I wasn't willing to lose was death as my final option. My point of view was that death created the winning hand for me. It was my ace card. It would allow me to leave when I chose. It was my way out of everything. I didn't like it. Death was my back door. So how many of you are making death your back door? Everything that is times Godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyond. I mean, can you like identify with that? I can totally connect with that. You know, I actually heard Gary say a lot of times for people who had cancer and so on, what are you dying to get out of? And every time, you know, he would say it, I would just have this charge in my body. So I said, you know, there's something really here for me and I'm buying into something here. So literally for 6 months, every single day, I would do this clearing on myself. What am I dying to get out of? And I didn't record it on a loop or something like that. I actually did it like 30 times a day for 6 months. And it was amazing, the kind of things that showed up for me when I ran that clearing. I had things like, I'm dying to get out of my relationship, I'm dying to get out of my business, I'm dying. And then, you know, as I kept doing that over and over again, then I would, like, for example, I'm dying to get out of my relationship. So underneath that was, I'm dying to get out of having no freedom. And then underneath that, so, you know, I kept digging and digging and digging. It was really amazing for me to see the kind of bizarre points of views I had that I was functioning from. So let's run that one a few times since we are talking about death. So what are you dying to get out of? Everything that is times Godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So what are you dying to get out of? Everything that is times Godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So what are you dying to get out of? Everything that is times Godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So what are you dying to get out of? Everything that is times Godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right or wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So apparently a lot of you have death as your back door. So I would really run this clearing on you really dynamically. You may have death as a back door as well. Somewhere in your universe, you may have a point of view, well, if push comes to shove, I can always die. It's a safe way out. Or maybe you think, I want to die while I'm still young and beautiful, so it's a tragedy when I go. People will mourn my death, such a tragic loss, so young and beautiful. As long as you're not willing to lose death, you will never be committed to living to the fullest you can live. The unwillingness to lose death keeps you from having total consciousness. When you're finally willing to lose death, you have to be totally conscious in every moment of every day about every choice you make, because death is not the final option. Let me read that again. When you are finally willing to lose death, you have to be totally conscious in every moment of every day about every choice you make, because death is not the final option. You no longer have death as a final future. You now have to choose to live. So everywhere you're not willing to lose death as your final option, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So everywhere you're not willing to lose death as the final future, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So everywhere you're not choosing to live, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So what choices would you have to make if death wasn't your primary option? Everything that is times Godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. What choices would you have to make if death wasn't your primary option? Everything that is times Godzillion, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So are you willing to lose the things in your life that don't work for you? Yes, but you're not willing to lose what you've decided, concluded, judged and computed is valuable to you. Your hierarchy of value is, I will lose what I don't like, but I have to keep what I do like. You don't ask, is this thing I value a limitation in any way, shape or form? So everything, all that brings up, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Whatever you've decided you have to hold on to becomes the least of what you're capable of, not the most. Leaving on a dime. You may be one of those people, and there are many of them, who want to be able to leave on a dime. The one thing you're not willing to lose is the ability to go out of town fast, whether it's getting away from your relationship, your job, or some other situation. Leaving on a dime is your get out of jail free card. It's your fallback position. It's what you do when something isn't working. Being able to leave on a dime is your solution to never being committed. You say, how do I get out of this? I can leave anybody on a dime. When a friend of mine and her partner were buying a house together, She froze and wanted to throw up because that was way too much of a commitment. I told her, well, you can always leave on a dime and lose all the money you invested. She said, oh, okay, fine. And she was over it. She just needed to know that she had a back door. That's the thing of recognizing the place somebody is functioning from and realizing what they have to have as their weasel clause, their back door, and giving it to them. You've determined and decided too many times that leaving is the way to have you. Yes, leaving can be a way to get you back when you've given yourself up to create a relationship. This has been successful for you in the past. That is why you keep choosing the back door rather than something more expansive. When you do, I can leave on a dime, you're doing the same thing you've always done, and it creates the same result it did the last time you left. When you've got your eye on the back door, you don't have to make a commitment. If you're maintaining your back door so you can get the hell out, it means you will not commit to anyone, and most impressively, not to you. You can't totally create your life, your relationship, or anything else because you're always looking for a way out. You're not willing to be infinite. You'd rather be able to leave on a dime than have infinite choice, infinite possibilities, infinite question, infinite creation, and infinite capacity for anything. Do you guys want me to continue reading? Maybe I'll just read this last bit. Losing versus leaving. Have you misapplied and misidentified leaving as losing? Lose means not to have any more. Leave means to go away. Maybe you look around and you think everybody is going to leave you. That's because you've already committed to leaving them. You think, I've got to see when they are going to leave me, so I can leave them first because I don't want to be the one who has been left. You can leave anyone at the drop of a hat, on a dime at the drop of a hat. Any way you look at it, it's about getting out first. You don't have to think about leaving when you're willing to lose other people. When you're willing to lose them, they can constantly change. When you're willing to lose them, when you're willing to lose who they are today, which means you're constantly capable of change, and so are they. You're willing to lose them, but not leave them. So you don't have to hold on to them. You're also willing to lose what you have decided is you. You don't need that idea in order to know who you are. I'm committed to consciousness. Can I lose anyone? Yes. Will I leave anyone? No. Leaving is like saying, if you won't play by my rules, I'm taking my marbles and going home. If you're scared to lose your partner, you have to limit the amount of change you can have. You have to limit the amount of change he or she can have. Is that working for you? Leaving is easier than being committed to change. Most people are willing to leave their lives on a dime rather than change, so they become more. So are you willing to lose everyone? Everything that doesn't allow it, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Are you willing to lose everything and everyone? Everything that doesn't allow it, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So thanks everyone for listening to me. It was, I had a few aha moments as I was reading this book. So have you read this book? And if you haven't, maybe you'd like to grab your copy and read it. Thanks again, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.